This is about Marie Curie, Albert Einstein, and James Watson and Francis Crick. Marie Curie, at last a woman, and what a woman, what a person. Was she brilliant, a certifiable genius? I don't know. She was incredibly persistent, and she wanted respect as a Polish national and a woman. She grew up in Poland, which was much abused by Russia. Her parents resisted the unwanted Russian influence, and she entered a world, science, chemistry, physics, dominated by men. It did not seem possible that a woman could do excellent scientific work, and Curie would not have won her first Nobel Prize if her husband had not insisted, rightly so, that she be included in the award. She left her homeland and went to Paris to attend the Sorbonne. She devoted her life to her studies and graduated at the top of her class. She decided to do research in radioactive materials. Out of tons of raw pitchblende, she separated all that was radioactive, and it proved to be more than pure uranium. There was something else in there. That something else proved to be radium and plutonium, previously unknown. Out of those tons of pitchblende, Curie was able to isolate a gram or two of radium. It was incredibly difficult and demanding work, day after day, a tremendous grind. And of course, though she did not know it at the time, it was also incredibly dangerous work, exposing herself to all that radiation. And she eventually died of leukemia, fatally poisoned by her work. She was justly celebrated for discovering radium and plutonium, but what is even more important for future research is that she made a distinct point of referring to radiation as an atomic phenomenon. She exposed an element to her radium, and when an emission from the radium struck the element, it gave off radiation of its own, and what was left was another element with a lower atomic number, a kind of alchemy. In raw form, this is the kind of work now done in the super colliders. The many discoveries about the atom began with Marie Curie and her atomic phenomena. Many people continued to see her as Pierre's wife and assistant, but everything she discovered was the result of her own fantastically diligent and inexhaustible investigation. When it came to research, Curie was a bloodhound, and she gave nothing less than her life to her work. Her complete opposite in that regard was Albert Einstein. I've written enough about him. He didn't bother with lab work at all. He was a theoretical physicist. His specialty was thought experiments, daydreaming really, suppositions, what-ifs. These proved to be amazingly productive. His general theory of relativity, in which space and time are not constant, but bend, curve, and flow, or warp, changed the way science looked at the world, but it had little impact on daily life. At the extreme opposite of that is his magical little gem, E equals mc squared. I can see the day when Leo Szilard, a fellow physicist, more of an applied guy, said to Einstein, "You know, Albert, there are tremendous implications in the little jewel of yours when it comes to explosive force, atomic power." So Albert wrote his letter to President Roosevelt telling him he might look into the possibility of exploding some uranium. Finally, there's James Watson and Francis Crick, incredibly linked for all time, rather like the bases on what they discovered, and I've written enough about them too. I will say that what they discovered, with considerable help from other researchers, the double helix of DNA, is, in both structure and function, that elegance and beauty that was so enticing to Poincaré. Yet it did not unlock the secrets to life as was initially suggested. Life has proven to be a bit more mysterious than that.